sana. Habari. There you go. Wow, I'm so happy and so excited to be in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, it's been a long time when I tell people that there's a country called Trinidad and Tobago, and they say, are you speaking in tongues or something? And I say, it's a country. So when I was posting in the Facebook that I'm coming to Trinidad, people are saying, wow, so this is a country. I said, yes, because most of them didn't know about it, and they have started now looking for which this country is, and I'm so grateful and more so welcoming me here. I don't know, I love you all. I don't know what I can say. I was so excited, even when I was clearing the airport, I was like, please hurry up, I need to go out. I was eagerly looking forward to meet you all, and you're such amazing people, and people who want to have, to make sure that Trinidad is food security. When you see a farmer, is a very important, not that a doctor is not as important, but a farmer is more important than most of us, yeah? Because whether there are calamities, whether there are issues, whether there is anything you need, when COVID was there, a farmer was needed more like anybody else, eh? Because we needed to make sure that we are alive and our bodies are working and we are very healthy. So whatever you are doing, you're holding alive here in Trinidad and also the neighboring. So I'm so happy to meet with your farmers and beautiful ladies like this to be farmers. It's not easy, eh? It's not easy. You know, for men, you are there, you are a farmer, you are hard. But for ladies also, I'm happy that they're joining me also, and I'm so grateful to be in Trinidad. And how far from here to Tobago? Is far? Oh, okay. It's not far than the way I came. So, I'm sorry, I want to have everything. I need to have Trinidad and Tobago together. So I'm happy, and also I thank God for the weather that which is there. I don't know whether this is the time of the rains, and if not, then you guys, you are blessed because the rains are here and you're taking your plants. So allow me start introducing myself. Maybe those who may not know me well. I'm Catherine, or I'm Kate, the name that I'm known. I'm Kate Wambugu. I'm the first born of Mr. Wambugu. And I'm so happy to be his blood ambassador. My dad is now almost 70 years. And I decided to become his blood ambassador after when I was growing up. And he was the things I saw my dad doing. So he really motivated me. Wambugu is my dad, the name Wambugu, the one with the apple. And he was going around the forest and he found a very nice fruiting tree, and it's mounting like this one, the way you are seeing those bushes. And he found a very nice fruiting tree. And because he was a farmer, he was a mechanic, and also he was a farmer. Then he took to my mother some fruits. And when my mother tasted the fruit, he said, oh, where did you get this? He said, just the other from the forest. Then my mother became so curious that he wanted to know where he got that fruit. Like any other man, you don't like being nagged. So my father was like, you woman, you are disturbing me. You are asking the fruit instead of you eat, and that's all. But my mother pushed my father to make sure that he goes and get more of the fruits. I hope my English is well, you know, the African English. But anyway, so my mom pushed my father to go back to the forest to get that fruit. And my dad took almost 2 weeks to accept to go because he was busy. And when he went there, my mom insisted we go with my father. And they went, 2 of them, to the forest. It's called Abadeas. Maybe those who can look for African, Kenyan is called Abadeas, where they what do you call it? There's some plants that they were planted and then neglected. So when my mom reached that place, he saw a very nice fruiting plant, and he pushed my father to carry that plant back home. We had another apple which was fruiting very well, but it was not bigger and it was very sour. So my mom pushed my dad, and then my dad carried some plants and also some stems, and he started propagating. Let me tell you, it was amazing because after he did some propagation, which is grafting, the apple started fruiting at 9 months. And the fruits were so big, only 4 meats a kilo. That means 1 kilo is about 250 grams, one fruit. And that is how my dad now became so passionate about it. We used to have coffee. By then, we had coffee in our farm. And one night, when my dad started seeing, he had only 11 plants. That is, he started with. And they fruited so massively such that everyone wanted that fruit. So when he saw the demand that was there, he decided to cut all the coffee. I remember we had to cut the coffee in the middle of the night at midnight, because coffee was like a government property. If you cut it, you'll be sued. And it is your farm, eh? It's like a slavery. How do I plant in my farm, then you tell me you cannot cut? So we had to do it in the night, eh? And I know no one is seeing me back home to see what we did. So at the middle of the night, my dad cut the the tea, and then, coffee. And then we took it at that night, all over my sibling and my mother. And then we could throw it to the river. There was a very big river closer to our farm. So we had to pick and throw it away. So in the morning, we were very innocent. Nothing we did. And that is how we changed from that coffee and now to the Wambugu apples, which is now in Trinidad. So that is the amazing Wambugu apples. Clap for my father. So from that moment, every farm, every corner of our farm, we polished with Wambugu apples. And let me tell you, farmers, that changed our life even to date. Because my dad now could go to town, the nearest towns, like 4 of them, and he would walk to town to sell the fruits. By the time we were doing coffee, we could not even afford shoes. We could not afford school fees. Most of the time we were at home now because the school fees is not there, because the coffee, it was not paid so well. And sometimes because they used to be given fertilizers, you go to get the money, they'll tell you you have to pay the loan that government gave you for you to repay the loan for the fertilizer. So he went up so miserable coming home without any money. So now comes the apples that he carries some bags and go hawking. You understand the name hawking? Going around and selling. Within 2 hours, my father would have sold almost 3 bags. And he would put the money in the pocket. He had one jacket, even today I remember that jacket. It had so many pockets. So he would put the money in the pocket. And because he didn't have time to even, to put the money in order, so once he came in the evening, he was also supposed to go and help us to harvest because of tomorrow. So my mom's work was to go and get the iron, You see the iron, and use charcoal, not the electricity one. You are civilized, Not the electricity one, the one with the charcoal, because it gets hotter. And then my mom would stretch the money, take the notes and stretch it with the iron, because the notes were so much. What we call that? Yes. So that is what she was doing, and she was enjoying because it was money. And from that moment, we could eat bread. That mere bread, you think, Kate, what is bread? Bread for me was a gold. And let me tell you, we started having bread, we started having shoes. From that moment, we could not be chased away from school. So that motivation, that made me even now to become my daddy's brand ambassador, to preach this gospel of apples, which is called Wambugu apples. He's the plant breeder. He was given the plant breeders right by the government of Kenya, so he's protected because he's the one he's the founder of the apple. And it was tested in many areas. The hot areas, the cold areas, the climate, any climate that you want, any soil, it has done well in sandy soil. It does well in warm and cold areas. In loam area, which has loamy soil, black cotton soil. In our farm is black cotton soil. We've tried to countries like Botswana. Those if you go back to the history, you find that Kalahari Desert is in Botswana. And let me tell you, in Botswana, they didn't know not even planting, even the plants itself could even drive there. When they planted, it fruited at 7 months. The president, the former, is now former because now they have a new president. He saw a apple fruiting in his country. Since that government was there for the last 58 years, they have never seen a plant of an apple in Botswana. And they found a very nice farm fruiting apples and was like, which plant is this? Because he saw it online, people posting from Botswana, and then he was eager to know which apple is this. He was taken to the farm and he couldn't even believe it. He took a flight from Botswana, a whole president, to come to Kenya looking for kids. Yes, looking for this apple. And he said, which apple is this? So he had to stop, and then I took him round, and right now he has more than 3,000 plants in his farm, which is doing amazing. I think I'll also be sharing these videos also as I wait for Trinidad, and I'm so happy to know that whatever I'm bringing to you is something that's going to work here in Trinidad. I know you are net importer like Kenya we are. I know you import a lot of apples, and because you have farms, beautiful farms, why should you continue importing? You can have that. The revenue, the money that you're bringing into Trinidad will be matched. And more so, we are exercising a lot of organic farming, where you can have your plants and make sure that whatever you're using, maybe cow dung, goats, dung, and maybe chicken, whatever, and the plant will thrive well. You don't need to spray Wambugu apples, the chemicals, not at all. What you're supposed to have is rabbit urine. I don't know whether you have rabbits here? Yeah. They're like the one in Africa? I guess so. Because the rabbits can urinate and they are very disciplined. I hope Trinidad rabbits are very disciplined like African ones because they urinate from one corner. And that corner, that is where you tap the urine. You just put an iron and then bedding. Once they urinate, then it comes. That one is very powerful, even to the plants. They work as a pesticide, even to other plants that you have, and also as a foliar. The plants that you have sprayed rabbit urine, you always know it's vibrant, it's green, it's very healthy. So you don't need to spray any kind of chemical to Wambugu apples. Within 9 months, you start seeing the flowers. The plants that you're carrying today, you'll be shocked that within 2 or 3 months they'll start flowering, or even 3 weeks. But don't get overexcited. If you do that, it's like 2 years girl or 4 years girl carrying pregnancy. So please, we don't want abomination here in Trinidad. So just remove the flowers and then allow the plant to grow and then to build muscles to carry fruits. Remember, this apple you'll be with it over 80 years. So there's no hurry in Trinidad and Tobago like in Africa. There's no hurry. Take your time, allow it to build, and within 9 months, now you can allow it to flower. So at the end of the year, you have like 20, don't allow again 100 fruits at the first year. Just allow like 20 to 30 fruits. That one is manageable. Then the second year, you can allow now 100, 120, continue like that. You are the one to determine on how many fruits that you can have from that plant. Now 5 years, which is full maturity, you can allow 300, 400 fruits. So that one is, even if it bends, don't worry, it will just come up again. So because sometimes it carries heavily, but when it goes back, down is to come back. But you can also support it anyway. You support and then once it's fire. But remember, it flowers, you fruit, and then the same plant has some flowers. So it alternates like that. So it's you to manage. You can also do what is we call thinning. When you realize there are a lot of flowers in one tree. So please don't overfeed or don't let it have the fruit, all of it. You can thin and remove some of the flowers or some of the small fruits. So that is how to manage. Otherwise, it's not a labor intensive. Again, it's a disease resistance. It is a lot of diseases because of the propagation that we have. We have only done the grafting. This is not GMO because most of the new farmers think that this plant fruiting at 9 months must be a GMO. No, we're not doing GMO. These are just playing around with a tree, an old tree, and then you graft, and that's all. So is a plant that will be there over 80, 100 years. So whatever you're planting is supposed to be your farm, your family farm, and not a lease farm. Because I've seen farmers losing money because you have leased a farm, and then the owner says, now I want back my farm. So make sure you better plant in your yard. Or whatever, if you're leasing, be ready if that person needs the farm because it's over 80 years. What are you doing in someone's farm? You are leasing 80 years. It's like you are grabbing. So make sure that it's your farm or even the family farm. The fruits can be big enough, and once you harvest, you add on manure. So I expect from now, because there's a journey that we are going to walk together, I offer myself as the ambassador of Wambugu to be training you, even if it's online. I'll make sure that I'm there for you until you succeed. So every time you harvest, remove the soil around the plant, around the stem, and then add manure. And you must make sure that the manure is well decomposed, because if you use the undecomposed manure, it can affect your roots. So make sure that even now, if you're going to plant maybe in 3 months, put together the manure now. So when you're taking the plant from the nursery to the farm, then from that plant will not be affected by the manure. So make sure that you put together, because manure always decomposes within 61 days, most 61 days. So allow it to decompose from now. So when you take it to the farm, the plant will now start enjoying having the manure. So always be ready. Put it together. Be a farmer who is up to date, so that whatever you get is quality. So now when you take this plant, I think I posted a video how to do. You collect I can see a lot of bushes here. Go and collect the topsoil. If you're not sure the manure that you're using is not well decomposed, forget about it. It's not a must that you use this now because of the plant not to be affected. Just collect the topsoil from the bush, or buy. I don't know whether here they sell the planting soil. Yeah, which sometimes they mix with the cocoa peat. I don't know something. If you can't get that, go and buy that for now, because it's just for now that you're nursing the trees. So once you get that, mix it well, and then you plant the plant. I think I can get if I can get one so that I show you. Maybe on the bag. Yeah, just one. Below. Down there is down. Okay, there's some. Yeah, I want to show you up to where you're supposed to put in the soil. Not every, because there's a time I visited some farmers and then they buried the plant. So you plant up to where you see the roots are, so you don't go beyond that. Then where you see the grafting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We say asante sana. In Swahili, asante. Yeah, say asante. Yes. Thank you. So this is the grafting. This is where we do the propagation. This is the grafting point. These plants are dwarf. They don't get tall, so you are able to manage them. So this is the grafting part. So when you are planting, you plant up to here, where you're seeing the roots. Don't go beyond this. So once you plant, you cover with a clear plastic. There's one guy, and I think he's going to also post in the group. There was a time I sent him the trees and they took almost a week traveling, I don't know where, went to Jamaica, I don't know where, until it ended up here, and he only lost one. So it was amazing. He was here in the morning, and he's going to share, and all of them, I think I sent him around 60, and it was amazing. He didn't even cover, and he was telling me he was struggling what to do not to lose the top part. But I told him, you cover with a clear plastic, the clear one, that you can be able to see inside. So that once you cover, within 8 days, 8 days, you see the leaves coming out. Once you see the leaves coming out, small leaves, remove it. The point of putting that plastic on top is for this part. You remember this is a tree, and it was planted. So by the time the roots pick the water and the nutrients take to the top, it may take 7 to 8 days. So for that duration, this point want to to grow. So they might be losing water from this point. So once you cover, the humid comes out and then goes back to the stem. So that plant will pick up very quickly. So within 8 days, they will start giving the leaves. And once you see the leaves, just remove the top one and then allow this one to grow. So I hope I'm clear on that. Up to here, when every plant, you'll be able to see where the roots are. Plant up to that point. And then put it on the shade, under the shade. Then within 8 days, when you see the leaves, just put them now to enjoy the sunshine. Up to now, we are good. Then watering, you should not overwater. Once you realize that you put your finger on the soil and then you see it's wet, don't water, because if you water a lot, it will start now rotting. So please avoid a lot of water. The plastic that you're using, make sure it has some holes to remove the excess water. Because if it is much, then it will be so bad. You see the roots are just rotting. So from that, now we take it or put it there for the next 3 months. But every other 2 weeks, go down and do the soil. Where you have planted around, you can do like this with your fingers, just to make sure that the air is getting down there. So don't put it there 3 months. Your work is watering, and then you go. So we need that aeration to go down. So every time you pass by, put your fingers. These things, they may look so simple, but they're so important to the plants. And again, it's just for now. Once you take this plant to the farm, it will just grow. And then, so this is the only critical time. Remember, it's a baby that you are bringing in. The way we do our babies. Yeah, today, they cannot eat on their own. But within 1 year, the baby is walking. So this is how we are going to handle our plants. So until that time point, I think we are clear. Any question up there? So that I don't use there. Yeah. Around, you give it 3 months. You put it 3 months there. And 3 months, you find that it has bigger branches. It has been big enough. So within 3 months, it will be quite good. Yeah.
And the apple is able to grow in a large, very large pot, plant pot?
Sorry?
And the apple is able to grow in a large pot?
Yes. It can, but finally you need to take it to the farm, because you see 80 years in that pot will be, yeah. But you can do that. Yes, sir.
Should we shade the plant in a short stage?
The shade.
Shade.
Yeah, you can put the shade net. Yeah, I believe it's shade net. Huh? Yeah, you can do that in the like the shade net that you use for nurseries. Is a very good shade. Yeah, it can do it. Yes.
When you put the plastic bag over the plant, right?
Yes.
You should tie it on the plant, or is that necessary?
No, you can tie or you cannot. Yeah, we either way, because the humid will still go back to the plant. But it's very necessary for it. Yeah. So I think it's clear up to that. So from now 3 months, I'm also going to post a video how you're supposed to transplant and how you're supposed to put the holes. And I believe that the spacing, you do 1 meter, 1 meter, and then 3 meters on the side. The lows is 3 meters, and then from one plant to the other is 1 meter. So that the 3 meters you can either do the intercrop, or you can even walking and application of the manure and such things. And please don't intercrop. Do you do maize here? You do maize? Yeah, please don't intercrop apples with the maize. The flowering will come out, and then the pollen of the maize is very poisonous to the flowers of the apples. Not even apples, even most of the fruits, especially when they are down there. But when they go up, it's okay, you can plant. Not that maize is that bad, but it's because the plant will be lower than the maize. So yeah, you can plant maize like 3 meters away, it's okay. It's only that you cannot intercrop. You can do beans, you can do vegetables. Beans are very good for nitrogen fixation, but vegetables are also good, even making the soil being productive. And also beans, they help also to fix the nitrogen, especially when the rains are not there. So those are the things you can do intercrop with. But for maize, please don't intercrop with. It will disappoint you. Yes, sir.
You recommend taking out 1 liter. Would that be sufficient for 8 years?
Yes. Yeah, it will be because apple does not grow like mangoes. And especially this one because it's dwarf. They only close on the side of the meter, 1 meter, and then the 3 meters is open. So you can be able to run around and attend to the plants. Yes. Yes.
What is the main reason for putting it in meter? The general. So the meter part, right? Is it for pollination or?
The pollination.
Yeah, why is it so close? 1 meter.
Yeah, not for pollination, it's just for the management of the space because there was a time we used to do 2.5 meters, but we were told you're wasting, you're wasting the space. Yeah, because even the 2 meters in between, there's nothing you can much do, and you're just wasting the space. So you close the sides and then you open the lows, so you can be able to do other things in between. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very good. Onions are very good because they make the soil. Yeah. They treat even the soil. Yeah.
How long do you leave the plastic on the ground? How long do you leave the plastic?
No, this one is ready for once you plant, you remove it. But most of them are removed. But this one also to mark where the grafting is. Yeah. Most of the plants you realize where the grafting happened. So never allow anything to grow below here, like any other plant which is grafted. So that one will affect your plants. Anything, even if it's a branch or something, some shooting from here, please immediately remove them. Because if you don't do, they will overtake the grafted part. So please, that is the key thing to note because the rootstock try to be quicker than the top. But when you discourage this one, will pick up very well.